So, if you've had any discussion surrounding the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then by now you've heard of the Marvel Formula, which can be summarized by the elements commonly found in all 20 of their films. Post-credit teases, Infinity Stone MacGuffins, setups for future films, you know the drill. Now this formula, when used correctly, can be the bedrock for a creative team to jump off into wild, unforeseen territory. It really lends some stability to a very difficult task. But without that inspiration, the formula can create an agonizingly static and uninspired final product. If you want the best example of the Marvel formula gone wrong, look no further than Thor: The Dark World.
Anyone else?
Because of the formula, the film admittedly has quite a few enjoyable moments. Loki will always be an endearing character, the film manages to pull together a few impressive action beats, and the comedic timing really helps the film keep light on its feet. However, none of these elements are used to elevate any meaningful drama. There is no true conflict displayed between the characters or even the main hero and villain. And so, when the film gets to its grand action-packed finale, it shows Thor winning the day by shoving a thing into a thing. I don't think the word anticlimactic ever truly found its meaning until this moment. With nowhere to go, the film concluded itself with a meaningless plot mechanic. There is no growth, no impact, no story. Thor was never as beloved of a character as, say, Iron Man or Captain America, but that's not really fair. His films never gave him the opportunity to rise to their level. For the character to reach his true potential, his franchise would have to prepare for a major change. From the first trailer, it was apparent that director Taika Waititi had radically altered this franchise. Sci-fi fantasy had now become retro sci-fi comedy. This shift in tone is clearly Marvel's biggest since The Winter Soldier, the film that redefined Captain America within this saga. Despite having drastically different sensibilities, both films ostensibly serve the same function. They are films that strip their heroes of everything they hold dear, forcing them to find a new purpose. This transformation is solidified by both heroes tearing down the previous frameworks of their storylines. Kevin Feige wasn't kidding. Thor Ragnarok really is the Winter Soldier of Phase 3. What elevates both of their material is that this change in tone is dictated by the story. Like Hela, this change comes brazenly out of nowhere, tearing down everything that didn't work with little remorse. Where the film truly finds its identity is in the wasteland planet Sakaar, the place where Thor is captured and turned into a gladiator. This is where the film spends the bulk of its screen time, pretty much the entirety of Act 2, and where other Marvel films would spend this time chasing plot threads or Infinity Stones, Ragnarok instead settles down into a full-on comedy. These scenes resemble sketches more than anything, and they take on a loose structure which allows for heavy improvisation, one of Waititi's strengths.
When he was like, "Yeah, it's me," and he stopped me.
In lesser hands, these comedic moments would halt all sense of story or character progression, but Thor Ragnarok's secret weapon is that these comedic set pieces are story scenes in disguise. Now before I explore how the film does this, I first need to summarize the film's central conflict, and why the film is structured the way it is. As the title suggests, the narrative is centered around Ragnarok, the prophesized death of Asgard and all those who protect it. As Odin's reign comes to an end, his bloodthirsty daughter returns and reclaims the throne, bringing with her the wrath that Odin attempted to leave behind. From here, the film interrogates how this paradise came to be.
Odin, proud to have it, shamed of how he got it.
Through Hela, the film exposes how a sanctuary such as Asgard is only achievable through mass violence, let alone the power and wealth it disposes only empowers the greedy and corruptible. During this takeover, Thor is jettisoned to Sakaar, the antithesis of Asgard, a throne made of garbage. Where Asgard is a place for those who seek glory, Sakaar is where people go to be forgotten. The powers that be on Sakaar conspire to keep Thor and everyone else there enslaved.
Oh, I don't like that word. Yes word, yes word.
In order to return to Asgard and save his people, Thor first needs to inspire the prisoners with jobs to help him. The three main individuals that have the power to do this are Hulk, Valkyrie, and Loki. All three of these characters are on Sakaar and want to stay on Sakaar for a reason. The Hulk has found purpose as a champion. Valkyrie wants to forget her tragic past as a warrior, and Loki aspires to take control of Sakaar after viewing Asgard as a lost cause. All three have found comfort in their banishment, and thus require external motivation, which comes in the form of Thor. This is where much of the comedy takes form. Thor attempts to inspire them to take action when they all painfully couldn't give less of a shit. They are the antagonists to a screwball comedy. But regardless of tone, each of these sketches or funny confrontations are seated in genuine character drama. Valkyrie and Loki in particular are both products of Asgard's flawed system, and before Thor can return home to save Asgard, he has to first wrestle with the demons it's left behind. The dramatic framework that drives this film forward may be the most nuanced that Marvel's ever dealt with, but the actual drama itself?
That's what.
Not so much. In most Marvel films, there's usually a divide between funny scenes and story scenes, but here, they become one. Every sketch serves a character purpose or sets up future action. It's a Marvel film that never has to turn off the fun. Regardless, all the drama that takes place on Sakaar is in service of a greater purpose, and that would be Thor Ragnarok has easily one of Marvel's most satisfying third act battles, and that's precisely because the film had already done the dramatic legwork necessary to get to this moment. Every character is exactly where they need to be before this battle. First off, the staging is better than it's ever been. In my Hobbit video, I explored how clear staging can be used to elevate theme and character, and using that criteria, Ragnarok is an A+. The geography is two-dimensional to emphasize the overriding goal of escape. Thor confronts Hela in the palace, while Heimdall and the others attempt to get the Asgardians across the Rainbow Bridge to the Bifrost. We are never lost on where characters are or how they relate to one another. The stakes are clear and grounded. In the palace is a big fucking weenie. On top of the clear communication, the geography greatly informs the actions that occur. While Thor fights Hela in the palace to draw her away from the rescue, it's clear that symbolically, he's challenging her for the throne. However, the throne is the actual evil in this storyline, and because of that, Thor loses, punctuated by him receiving the same iconic wound of his father.
Blind man could see it.
It's only once he's abandoned the throne to help out his people that he becomes a god. A character moment like this would be enough to make a satisfying third act battle. Hell, earning Thor rocketing out to the immigrant song is enough for most viewers. But it's not enough for Marvel. So additionally, Valkyrie fights back by embracing her past title. Loki returns to save the day while indulging his lust for glory. The Hulk punches a dog in the face. Every character gets their moment. The themes of the film become cemented in these character moments, and the filmmakers were very careful in ensuring that the action pushed forward these ideas, and more importantly, not get in their way. This is especially clear in Thor and Valkyrie's final brawl with Hela, where they don't defeat her by overpowering her, but instead by distracting her while Loki causes Ragnarok using the mechanics introduced in the opening scene. Thor Ragnarok as a film seems as though it should be a contradictory mess, when instead it comes out as a pure entity. Everything fits and everything serves a purpose. You cannot change something for the sake of changing it, but instead to find something greater. This is why Thor Ragnarok is a far more intelligent blockbuster than its darker and serious competition. Again, you guys know the thesis of this series, of the entire Marvel enterprise, the importance of character. A character must change because otherwise they are no longer a character, they are just a walking set of personality traits. Ultimately, this is the biggest takeaway from Thor Ragnarok. If something isn't working, then change it.
See, Loki, life is about growth, it's about change, but you seem to just want to stay the same. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you'll always be the god of mischief, but you could be more.
The internet is a lot like the planet Sakaar. Around every corner is someone looking to track your actions online and steal your information. In the wrong hands, the breach of this information can cause financial jeopardy. That's why I use ExpressVPN, a monthly service that encrypts all your internet data. When you use a VPN, your public IP address is masked, keeping your identity on the websites you visit anonymous. ExpressVPN will also make content blocked in your country available. Recently, my Spider-Man 2 analysis was blocked in both US and Canada, and with ExpressVPN, I can now watch my own content again. Thanks, YouTube. With server locations in 94 countries and 24/7 customer support, ExpressVPN always has you covered. There are apps for every device: Windows, iOS, Android, Mac, Linux, you name it. All this is easy to use, connect with just one click. For less than $7 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee, take back your internet privacy today and find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description box. expressvpn.com/filmsandstuff. That's expressvpn.com/filmsandstuff for 3 months free with a 1-year package. Visit expressvpn.com/filmsandstuff to learn more. Take back your privacy today.
The revolution has begun.
I didn't do it
I didn't do it for him.
for him.